If I were to use for a sermon topic today, look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, people are leaving Christianity in 2025.
Pastor, that don't rhyme.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can try this again. Let me get my iPad. Christianity will no longer control lives in 2025.
Oh, that'll preach.
Oh, I know it will. That'll preach. Now give me your money. I can hear the Pentecostals talking about this now. The Bible spoke about this. There's going to be a great falling away from the church. Shut up. Today at 38 years old, I'm going to say this loudly and boldly. The great falling away is nothing more than a great awakening from the shackles of Christianity. It's literally happening all over the country. It's like a fog has been lifted from people's brains and they're now able to think with their own minds versus the conditioning that they're used to from their religious upbringing. It's like a switch is going to go off and people are going to be like, what the was I thinking? And you know who's going to be waking up the loudest and the largest? Black people. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. You're going to hear Black people saying things like, we are gods, or things like, we already have everything we need inside of us, so we don't feel like we need to look to an external deity. So what does this mean for churches? They're going to be empty. The only churches that'll probably still be packed are your holiness or hell preaching, fire and brimstone, brainwashed, no convincing. It would literally take God himself coming down, smacking them jokers in the face and being like, look at here, I ain't coming back. God dang. And they probably still gonna say, oof, the devil is busy. So pastors, if that mortgage ain't already paid, you got about 3 days to try your best manipulation tactics, because in 2025 it's not going to work. People are not playing. You're not going to be able to say any little thing to get people's money. In 2025, people are going to be waking up. They're going to be reading more. They're going to be studying more. They're going to want to find out answers for themselves. Those scary scriptures that they used to read back in the day to make people give, they're not going to work. Will a man rob God? Yes. In this economy? Yes. Matter of fact, where he at? But seriously, guys, in 2025, I feel like there's going to be a mass exodus of people leaving Christianity. So if you are someone who may find yourself deconstructing in 2025, here are 4 tips that I want to give you to help you on your journey along the way, because it's not an easy one. Tip number 1 is trust your inner being. When I tell you, your spirit, your inner being, your gut, whatever it is you want to call it based on however you believe, knows all things. The thing inside of you knows all things. So trust that inner being, trust that inner voice. You may find yourself going MIA for a while. I know I had to get away from everybody for a while and just go on my own seeking journey. I had so many questions, but I ended up going inward, and that's where I got all of my answers. It was a beautiful feeling to know that I had everything I needed already inside of me, and that I no longer had to depend on, cry out to, seek an external deity for the things that I needed to get accomplished, for my overall sense of purpose and well-being, balance and harmony. To know that I could trust what was already inside me was the most beautiful thing I could ever experience. Number 2, ignore staunch, bigoted type Christians. When I tell you these people are going to be out for blood, they're not going to like the fact that there's this mass exodus of Christianity. They're going to be trying their hardest to pull everybody back in using fear tactics, fear mongering, manipulation tactics. They're going to be thinking of all kinds of things. And some of you already know these kinds of people where they refuse to allow you to live your own life, but they want to condemn every single thing that you do because you're not choosing to live the life that they're living. You might have to block some of them. All they want to do is demonize, demonize, demonize. Never have I ever seen so many Christians talk about so many things being a sin. This is demonized. Crystals, sage, trees, herbs, plants, movies. everything is demonized. I'm telling you, y'all just gotta ignore these people. Let them live their own miserable lives and live up to whatever standard that they set for themselves or based on whatever book that they feel that they need to believe in. Number 3, get a therapist. I'm telling you guys, for many of you, you may need to seek therapy because this process is a lot. You're uncovering, you're peeling back layers of deep conditioning, things that you've been taught, maybe some of you since you were a child, but it's a lot. It can be traumatizing. Talk about spiritual trauma. Once a lot of people realize or begin to maybe leave Christianity or may see it a different way, everybody may not totally leave, but the things that you'll begin to uncover, you may feel like it's really playing on your mental state, and you may need to seek therapy, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Please don't let anybody demonize therapy. Tip number 4 is find community. This is currently the stage I'm at now, and I must say it can be a little challenging, but it is very, very promising, and I'm so optimistic. But you have to begin to find new community, people who now think and believe the same way as you do. For many of you, you've only been used to hanging around people who are, self-proclaimed prophets and whatever the case, or pastors or bishops or apostles or whatever you've been used to hanging around, or friends who are just, so staunch in the belief, or whatever the case is. Begin to seek out and surround yourself with people who believe like you. I'm so thankful that I now know that there are so many other people who have deconstructed as well. Every time I run into somebody and we just kind of strike up a conversation, I get a little nervous to even begin to talk about my deconstruction journey. But as soon as I begin to talk, they're like, oh my gosh, me too. Like, what? And then we just have this awesome conversation. So guys, it is important to find community. You may want to spark up little meetups or whatever the case, but community is going to be so important on your deconstruction journey. All right, guys, so that's it for this video. I am calling it 2025 is going to be the year that there will be a mass exodus of Christianity. I ain't no prophet, and to the prophets watching this, y'all ain't either. Peace.